Turnitin is a feature in Angel that checks if a student's paper might contain plagiarized work. This tutorial will take you through the steps to set up a Dropbox for draft papers and final papers. I'll set up a Turnitin Dropbox for draft papers first. Sign into Angel, click on your course, and then click on the Lessons tab. You can set up a Turnitin Dropbox for drafts in a folder and use it for a specific draft assignment, or you can set up one Turnitin Dropbox for all drafts in a course, which is what I'm going to do. I'll set it up at the end of all the folders right here. Click Add Content, then click on the Turnitin Dropbox. Click Next Step. Here you'll name the assignment. In this case, I'm going to call it All Draft Papers. Since this is a draft, leave the point value blank since it will not be graded. Then set the start date, the due date, and the post date. The post date is the date students can see your comments after you've put comments on the paper or graded the paper. Now click to expand the optional settings. Here you can enter any special instructions to the students. I'll explain some of these settings. Some are self-explanatory and up to the instructor, such as whether or not to allow submissions after the due date, so I won't go over all the settings. Under the heading of Originality Report, click Yes to generate an Originality Report. The Originality Report shows how similar the submitted paper is to the papers in the Turnitin repository. This setting lets the students see the Originality Report right away. It gives students a chance to learn more about plagiarism and to proactively make corrections to the paper. The students can resubmit their drafts to this Dropbox to view updated Originality Reports, but only once in a 24-hour period. Click Yes to exclude bibliographic materials, quoted materials, and small number of word matches. This will reduce parts of the paper that could appear plagiarized, but probably are not. Click Yes to allow students to see the Originality Reports. As stated before, it gives the student the opportunity to learn from the report. Draft papers should not be submitted to the repository. If they were, when the final paper is submitted, it would look plagiarized. At this point, the ETS E-Rater setting is a beta test, so I'm clicking No for the grammar checking. Now click Submit. And here you have a Turnitin Dropbox for draft papers. Setting up a Turnitin Dropbox for final papers is similar. Click on the folder where you want to set up the Dropbox for a final paper. Click Add Content. Click on the Turnitin icon and click Next Step. As before, type the assignment name. You can assign a point value here, and that will allow you to grade the paper from the Turnitin Dropbox and connect it to the gradebook. Enter your start date, due date, and the post date like before. Then click on Optional Settings. The difference here is the generation of the Originality Report should be set to immediately first report is final. Since this is a final paper, only one originality report will be generated. Another difference is the final paper is submitted to the standard paper repository. Click Submit, and a Turnitin Dropbox has now been created for a final paper. You can grade the final paper when you view the student's submission and the originality report. I'll show you that in a minute. First, you'll have to connect this Turnitin Dropbox to the gradebook. Click on Manage, then click on the gradebook, then click on Assignments. Here you can see a Dropbox for drafts and a Dropbox for a final paper. You can leave the Dropbox for drafts uncategorized since it will not be graded. To connect the final paper Dropbox to the gradebook, click the box to the left of the Dropbox you want to connect. Then click Edit Selected. Here you can click on the caret that shows the different categories and connect it to the category that you want this assignment connected to. Then click Save. Now this Dropbox is connected to the gradebook. To view the originality report and, in the case of a final paper, grade the paper, click on the Turnitin Dropbox. In this case, one student submitted a paper and it shows a 15% similarity to other papers in the repository. Click on the percentage to view the originality report. Click Close to get rid of this box. The originality report shows a 15% similarity to other papers in the repository. Don't just look at the numbers though. The column on the right shows the percentage of similarity from each source. Click on any one to see more in detail. In this case, you can see the first match is from a publication. And by clicking on the first match, you can view more details about it to determine if it truly is plagiarized. In this case, it is not. Click on the back arrow to return to the summary. If you want to add comments and grade the paper, click on the grade mark box on the top left. You can highlight text, click on the comment box, and add comments to the paper that your students will see. Then click Save. You can grade the paper by entering the number of points earned in the box on the very top right. After you've entered the grade, you can close the box and you can see the grade has been entered.